Hey there, thanks for stopping by the Healthy Butter channel. My name is Chris Butterworth. Today we're going to talk about how to create a Mace program. Mace programming to me was interesting. It was one of the hardest things to figure out when I first bought a Mace. Mace is awkward, it's confusing, and there's not a lot of examples out there. In YouTube, in Instagram, there are a lot of really big guys that swing around a lot of weight. There are some people that teach very specific transitions. Here's how to move from one hand to another. Here's a different move. There are people that are really graceful and they do these amazing flows, but those movements are very complicated. They might show them in their video using a 10-pound mace or a 15-pound mace, and I can't even do those moves with a 7-pound mace. So trying to put all that together in a program that was useful for me was the hardest thing. So I broke it out into a couple of different things. Mace 360s, that's the foundational mace exercise. You got to be able to do Mace 360s. You got to be able to do 10 and 2s. So get comfortable with the swing, how the mace rotates. And I do 360s as one part of my mace program. And I have a heavy day and a light day. I do volume with a average weight, and I do a little bit lower volume with a heavy weight. Then I have a couple of different movement pattern days. I have my mace grind, which is what you're watching in the background, where I do sets of reps. I throw it on a timer, and I just grind my way through it. Each individual movement is kind of fun, but when you add it all up together, it is a 20-minute challenging workout. That's why I call it a grind. And then I have a mace kata, which is a little bit more complicated movements, and I use a little bit lighter mace for that. The trouble with these two things is that sometimes I'm watching a video online and I see a new movement. I see somebody do something that I think looks awesome. It looks fun. It looks like it's going to change the rotation or change what you're used to, or it's just something different, something new to learn. But I can't do it 4 reps with weight to fit it into one of my current exercises. So I actually have a mace practice. So it may not be a full workout. I may not do 20 minutes of it, and it's not scheduled on my thing. But sometimes while I'm sitting at my desk, if I need a break, I just stand up and I may pick up my really light mace and I might play with a couple of different movements. When I find one that I really like and it fits within the weight of what else I'm doing, I can add it to my mace grind, or I can add it to my mace kata, and then it becomes part of that. So I'm always looking for new things to add, new movements. I've never really enjoyed yoga, ballet type movements. I appreciate them both from the respect of the strength of the people that do them, and I also enjoy the beauty of it. But my body doesn't like that. I have never been flexible. I'm actually more flexible now than I ever have been my whole life, and I'm still not flexible. So those to me I look awkward and I look like I'm in pain, and it's mostly because I am. So I'm not into mace to do really flowy, creative, visually appealing movements. I like the movements that make my body function the best. And those are rotational things. Those are offset weights, moving from low on the left to high on the right, or vice versa, cross body, all of that kind of stuff. So I look for little bits and pieces that I can add over time, and then I run a workout and I check progress, and I look to do better over time. Maybe this is something you can use. Hopefully you find it helpful. Hit me up in the comments if there's any specific questions, and we'll stop there today. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Go get better.